Have you ever wondered how Red Bull went from a little-known Thai drink to becoming the most recognized, high-grossing energy drink brand on the planet? Well, today, we are diving into a story of humble beginnings, bold strategy, and one of the most genius marketing evolutions in modern business. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll see how Red Bull didn't just sell energy, it sold an entire lifestyle. These days, Red Bull is a household name, right up there with giants like Coke and Gatorade, but it didn't start that way. Back in 1976, a Thai businessman named Chaleo Yuvidya created a non-carbonated energy drink called Krating Daeng. It was designed to help laborers, especially truck drivers and construction workers in Southeast Asia, stay alert during long, exhausting shifts. It was a gritty, functional drink, but not something you'd expect to find on a European supermarket shelf. But that all changed in the 1980s. While on a trip to Thailand, Austrian entrepreneur Dietrich Mateschitz stumbled across Krating Daeng. Burnt out from his corporate job, he tried the drink and felt an instant jolt, but more importantly, he saw potential. Mateschitz teamed up with Chaleo and got to work transforming the drink into something that could appeal to Western consumers. He made it fizzy, toned down the sweetness, and rebranded it under a new name, Red Bull. And in 1987, Red Bull officially launched in Austria. In that first year alone, they sold over 1 million cans, in just one market. Not bad for a brand new beverage that most people had never even heard of. But this early traction didn't come easy. Before Red Bull could soar, it almost got grounded. In its early years, the company faced serious turbulence, from regulators, market skeptics, and even branding experts. Banned in France due to concerns over taurine and caffeine content, blocked in the UK where they couldn't even call it an energy drink because of trademark restrictions, bashed in market research where participants hated the taste, disliked the logo, and thought the name sounded strange. One early study flat out said the product would fail. But Dietrich Mateschitz didn't flinch. If I listened to focus groups, Red Bull wouldn't exist. A line he didn't actually say, but absolutely lived by. He believed in the product, because he knew this wasn't just another beverage. Red Bull wasn't launching a soft drink, it was launching an entirely new category. There were no energy drinks on the shelves, no market to slot into. They had to build it from scratch. That meant educating consumers, navigating international regulations, and going head-to-head with massive beverage companies, all while introducing a product that didn't quite fit in. It was bold, risky, and totally unprecedented. But that's exactly what set the stage for what came next. But the real magic? It wasn't just in the can, it was in the marketing. Red Bull didn't pour millions into flashy commercials or celebrity endorsements. Instead, they went rogue, using guerrilla marketing to build a cult-like following. They hit college campuses, bars, skate parks, handing out free samples to anyone willing to try. They got Red Bull placed in trendy shops and nightclubs. And with a catchy slogan, Red Bull gives you wings, they planted themselves firmly in the minds of their target audience. This offbeat strategy paid off. Red Bull wasn't just a drink anymore, it was becoming a movement. Now, you might be thinking, okay, cool branding, but how did they go from handing out cans to dominating a market filled with giant competitors? The answer? They didn't just lean into their image, they owned it. Red Bull doubled down on adrenaline and extreme sports. They backed athletes, sponsored events, and turned the brand into a lifestyle. Early on, they supported athletes like Travis Pastrana in freestyle motocross and Shaun White in snowboarding, both of whom were young, edgy, and already making waves in their sports. And in 2005, they made a legendary move, buying Jaguar Racing and launching their own Formula One team. This wasn't just about slapping a logo on a car, it was a full-on investment in performance, precision, and spectacle. Formula One gave Red Bull massive global exposure, millions of viewers, and a reputation for innovation and edge. And it worked. From there, Red Bull only got bolder. They pulled off headline-grabbing stunts like the Red Bull Stratos space jump, where Felix Baumgartner skydived from the edge of the stratosphere live on TV. That single event was watched by millions around the world and cemented Red Bull as more than just a drink, it was a media powerhouse. They launched Red Bull TV, created original documentaries, and produced high-end films about action sports, culture, and music. They even encouraged user-generated content, fans posting their own Red Bull moments across platforms, adding authenticity and community to the brand. every piece of content added to the brand's mythos. It wasn't just about energy anymore, it was about identity. And the strategy was crystal clear. If adrenaline junkies love it, Red Bull will be there, putting on the show, sponsoring the event, or building the platform. Snowboarding? Check. BMX? Check. Cliff diving, skateboarding, air racing, esports, triple check. Red Bull wasn't just staying relevant, they were shaping the entire culture around their audience. And it worked. In 2024 alone, Red Bull sold over 12.4 billion cans worldwide, from a dusty roadside stall in Thailand to a global empire. Today, Red Bull is more than just an energy drink, it's a blueprint for brand building in the digital age. They've turned content into commerce, athletes into ambassadors, and fans into family. But they're not stopping. They're continuing to invest in esports, music festivals, new media ventures, and environmental initiatives, positioning the brand for a future beyond the can. Red Bull has even started experimenting with functional beverages and new wellness categories, indicating that they're ready for whatever the next wave of consumer interest may be. They're not just flying, they're future-proofing. Red Bull didn't just give people wings. It gave a whole generation permission to fly higher, live louder, and chase moments that feel impossible. It redefined what it means to build a brand, not through billboards and commercials, but through culture, community, and pure audacity. From a dusty roadside stall in Thailand to the edge of outer space, from nightclub giveaways to breaking world records, Red Bull has never followed the rules. It wrote its own playbook. And in doing so, it didn't just launch a product, it launched a movement. So the next time you see that little silver and blue can, just remember, you're not just looking at an energy drink, you're looking at one of the boldest business stories of our time.